Hi. I'm back, reading this whole thing. And, I'm gonna pick up where we left. I literally had to go through my videos to remember where the hell I was. And, yeah, we're back. It's been so long since I've read this thing. And I found myself on chapter 14, so I had to literally go back to see if I was doing the right thing. So I found out that I had to go back because I stopped at, Reds made him feel all fuzzy. Anyway, let's get into it, I guess. I don't know what to say. They got back to their room. You can use the shower first, since you're practically drenched after falling in the water. Red laughed. Psh, yeah. Blue replied and rolled his eyes, making his way to the bathroom. Red took his and Blue's shoes out to the balcony to dry in the warm air. He decided he would sit out there and wait for Blue to finish, so he didn't make anything in the room wet, too. He sat at a small table at the other side of the balcony. Pikachu came out after him and jumped into his lap. Happy to see him, since he stayed behind while Red and Blue went out. Pika! Oh, my voice. It's not good as it used to be. Pika! Pikachu cheerfully squealed. Red smiled at him and pet him gently while waiting for Blue. I'm done! Red heard Blue shout a little while later. Giving Pikachu one last pet, he stood up and made his way to the shower. Blue threw himself onto the bed. I still can't believe it! He actually likes me too! Blue's mind raced. We even kissed! His face flushed pink at the thought. What am I doing? What am I doing? No. Why did I make him sound like that? Oh, whatever. He rolled onto his stomach, and there his face, and then his face into a pillow. I think they meant put his face in, I don't know. Whatever. Continue. Once Red had finished up in the shower, he got into bed himself, looking at his phone for the time. 11:26. It's pretty late. I'm going to sleep, so I'm up at a decent time tomorrow. Red laughed a little as the thought of the earlier the morning came to him. Yeah, I should too. I don't want to miss out on breakfast again. Oh, yeah, I should too. I don't want to miss out on breakfast again. Blue laughed in response. Then silence. After confessing to each other, it became a little awkward. Neither knew exactly what they should say to the other. Red had already laid down. He was faced away from Blue, which disappointed him. He sighed, facing the opposite way too. I've just made everything awkward now. What do? We aren't technically together, but now I'm completely clueless, he thought. After some time had passed, Blue couldn't sleep. He kept turning, trying to get himself more comfortable, but to no avail, and his thoughts wouldn't shut off. He kept replaying their kiss, and he just couldn't calm himself down because of it. Just then he heard a small grumble from Red. Blue stayed as still as he could, not wanting to wake him up, but before he knew it, Red had turned over, threw his arm over Blue. Blue blushed a little, although he was getting used to this. It comforted him. Red pulled Blue closer to him and then planted a kiss on his shoulder blade. Blue melted into Red's embrace and was able to comfortably fall asleep in his arms. Cute. I hope nobody I know just comes to me and just questions everything or just says something or makes fun of me. I do this because I want to. I don't want to suffer. I just hope there's no smut in this, because there could be unexpected smut, as they do in some fanfics that I've read. Or like some sort of just very, very interesting stuff. Or things just get a little bit too hot. I just hope that doesn't happen. We're trying to keep this a little bit like family friendly here. We don't want any smut. That morning, Blue was greeted with an unpleasant headache. He didn't move or get up right away, but when he finally did, he realized that Red wasn't beside him. He sat up and let himself adjust to the morning sunlight that crept in. Evie came up to Blue, wanting to be pet. Blue smiled and complied. A few minutes passed, and Blue got up and out of bed, checking the time. 7:36. What could Red be doing up so early? Blue thought. He walked over to the balcony, drawing the curtains. He winced at the harsh sunlight hitting his face. Once his eyes had become used to the light, he checked on the balcony. Nothing. He went over to the bathroom and knocked on the closed door. When he received no reply, he opened the door. Not here either. Where can he be? Blue said to himself. He grabbed his phone, deciding to call him. He waited for a few moments after pressing the call button and sighed when he heard ringing from across the room. Of course he left his phone. Blue rolled his eyes but laughed gently. He got himself a glass of cold water to help ease his throat. It had been a little sore since he woke up. Oh, buddy, I've been there sometimes. I hate that, but like, I hate that. And then you have to like drink something. And it mostly happened on school days, and I usually shower before I eat. So it will hurt while I'm in the shower. I try so hard just not to swallow. Or, well, I have to swallow. If not, this can be filled with saliva. I don't know. I just wish that the pain would go away when I swallowed the saliva that I had in my throat. Been a little sore since he woke up, then decided to sit on one of the chairs in a shaded part of the balcony. Evie had jumped up onto his lap and let out a small squeal before curling up and going back to sleep while Blue stroked his fur. A little time passed. Blue was now slouched a little with a hand on Evie, and his head resting on the other, his eyes closed. He had fallen asleep again, but was startled awake when he felt weight pressed on his shoulder. His body jerked, which also startled Evie. Blue then heard that familiar honeyed laugh. He took a few seconds to come to his senses. I don't know. Few seconds come to sense he still had a painful headache. Oh boy. There's gonna be some really just times I'm gonna be confused while reading this. I've just realized. Oh boy. And my brain can't function right now because it's kinda late. Anyway. Blue, are you okay? What are you doing out here so early? He heard Red ask, sounding slightly breathless. Blue gently waved his hands in the air in response. I'll be fine. I just have a headache and I came out here looking for you. Wait a second. The question is, what are you doing up so early? Red just laughed at him gently. Me? I woke up early. I couldn't get back to sleep, so I decided I'd go for a run. Figured you came too. This was mostly true, except that Red had been awake most of that night after what happened. He could barely sleep. His mind raced with so much excitement and joy. I can fully just I can imagine that because I have a lot of thoughts while I'm trying to go to sleep, so that's why I kind of have a hard time sleeping. Or it's just that I have actually a hard time sleeping because I'm not tired or something. It's always something like that. But yeah. And then I hate waking up in the middle of the night. Ugh! It sucks. Blue turned to face Red as he continued to talk. He practically melted on the spot. He's just so hot. Oh boy. Now this is starting to get awkward. And I don't even remember half of this. I remember I read some, just a little bit further than what you guys have seen. But I don't remember this. And things are gonna get awkward from here. I just hope things don't go south. Thought as he took in the view of Red in a gray tank top clinging tightly onto his body. I'm going to go shower and change, and then if you like, we can go for breakfast. Blue only nodded, subconsciously biting his own lip. Sam blushed a little, letting out a light, nervous laugh. Get yourself dressed. I won't be long, he said as he turned and headed for the bathroom. Oh boy, I don't know if I could continue with this fanfic though. Let's see. I think this might be a little bit of a short video, but it's gonna be long because I like to talk. Oh boy. I'm awful. I hope you guys don't mind me talking. It's just something I do for no reason. Not 10 minutes later, and Red was exiting the bathroom with the towel that draped over his shoulders. Have anything you'd like to do today? I've got a couple of ideas, Red said to Blue while he towel dried his hair, pulling the towel over his head. His hair was damp and messy. Cute, Blue quietly said. What was that? Red asked while putting his cap on, pushing his hair down almost into its regular style. Your regular style used to be your hair was like Goku's hair. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. His hair used to be so weird, and I remember thinking about that reading the manga, how does his hair stay up like that? How did Blue's hair stay up like that? And it's still like that till this day. Questions I'll never get answers to. I just have Nintendo on the phone. Explain this! I'm so weird. I don't know. I said I don't have anything in particular. I want to do today. You can decide what do you have? You can decide. What do you have in mind? I'll explain over breakfast if that's fine with you. Red responded, unconvinced by Blue's reply. That is definitely fine with me. Blue grinned. The two left their room and made their way down to the restaurant. So, I was thinking that we could check out Willow Volcano Park and then this afternoon go to the Battle Royale Dome. Red explained to Blue as he held a warm cup of coffee in both of his hands. I think I remember that. I think I remember this. I don't know. I can't fully remember. Oh boy! This is gonna be a ride. Because it's been how long? A little while. Blue swallowed. Good with me, he continued, filling his mouth with more pancake. Red smiled softly in response, but it quickly faded. So, what happens to us now? Red thought, as he stared into his cup, swirling his finger on the back of it. Are you okay? Blue asked as he caught on to Red's odd withdrawn behavior, snapping Red back into reality. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I'm fine. Just tired, that's all. Red tried to play it off and smiled at Blue again. You know, I don't believe you, but I won't press you. Blue was unconvinced. He knew Red had something else on his mind. Wait, it's not because of me, is it? Is it because of last night? Does he regret it? I knew it. I shouldn't have said anything. Ready to leave? Blue's thoughts were cut off. Oh, yeah, sure thing. Blue's response muffled as he shoved the last of his breakfast in, being careful of his sore throat. Sorry, I had to take a call. Nobody say this. Nobody say anything in the comments. Their walk to the volcano was quiet. While both of them had a lot to say, neither of them knew how to say it or how the other felt after the previous night. There are a lot of things that I can kind of relate to. I said some things, and also I'm kind of a little bit just nervous when talking to people. I don't know. Blue broke the awkward tension that hung over them as they approached the base of Willow Volcano. So, is there any reason you wanted to visit here today? I wanted to come here to see some of the other Pokemon, mainly. I've read about Cubone and Marowak that can be found here, but the Marowak are different here. Alolan versions. Yeah, Alolan versions. Because there are some Pokemon that are different. Like, you could know them from Kanto, but they look different. They're pretty cool. Some of them are really cool. The Marowak the Marowak are pretty cool. I also like the Ninetales ones. The Ninetale Alolan version is pretty beautiful. Red brightened up a little, which put Blue at ease too. He forgets everything he forgets everything else when Pokemon are mentioned. Blue smiled softly as he watched Red walk ahead of him. When they reached the volcano's park, they stopped. A few Pokemon were around, so Red pulled out his phone. So around here we can find Fletchling, Salandit, Cubone, Magby. Oh boy. And this is gonna be another problem because I can't remember how to pronounce some things. Also, I don't remember if they ever found a Mimikyu. I don't know. I think Mimikyu would probably be one of Red's favorite Alolan Pokemon because it's like Pikachu, but just creepy. But I love Mimikyu. It's cute. Nobody say anything. I've had friends that have told me that it's weird. No. And Kangaskhan. Fletchling. I haven't seen those Pokemon since my trip to Kalos. It says that if you touch one unexpectedly, its body will heat up, and you'll be Wait, Kalos? Oh, I never mentioned it? A story for another time. Blue just grinned, sniffled a little, which he paid no mind to. After a time of exploring at the park, Red spotted a man in the distance. Looked like he was dancing? No, that's not right, he thought just as he heard the Pokemon shout with a small explosion. Red and Blue looked at each other. What on earth was that? Blue exclaimed. Oh, Z-moves. Z-moves look like dancing, and I've seen so many memes of that. Like Red and Blue could have been questioning everything. 'Cause there's one that Red was writing to his mom. Sorry again. My grandma walked into the room. Anyway, he was writing to his mom and then said that the kids were doing some weird dances. It was funny. But yeah, things change. Anyway, I'm not too sure, but I think it came from where that man is, Red pointing to him. Let's check it out then. Blue trailed off as he rushed over, leaving Red behind. All Red could do in response was roll his eyes and catch up to him. As they got closer to the source of the explosion, Red piped up. That's it! That's one of the Marowak found here! Blue looked over at it, intrigued. Its body was a different color than the ones back at Kanto. Wait, is that fire? Blue asked Red. It sure is. The Cubone that evolve here no longer stay as a ground type, but instead become a ghost and fire type. Red responded with excitement in his voice. It looks like it's using flame charge on that boulder, probably for training, Red continued. Blue glanced over at Red's face. He could see joy wash over him. A little while later, they found somewhere shady to sit. Deciding to walk up a volcano on a scorching day was a brave choice, Blue exclaimed, then knocking back half a bottle of water. I didn't know just how warm it would be today, Red responded, leaning himself back on his hands. Pikachu practically collapsed onto a cooler, shaded ground. Red pet his head. Wanna call it a day here, bud? Red smiled. He cupped his hand and poured some water into it, letting Pikachu drink up as much as he needed, then drinking most of what was left from his bottle. Red checked the time. 10:43. He stood up and brushed himself off. We should get going so we can make it to Battle Royal Dome in time. Red held a hand out to Blue to help him up. Are you sure you're okay? I know it's hot, but it looks like it's taking a toll on you. Blue let out a harmless groan while grabbing Red's hand. I told you earlier, just a headache. I'll be fine if I stay hydrated. After being pulled up, Blue didn't look at Red as he responded. He wanted so much to just wrap his arms around him, but was unsure of how he would respond. The doubts after last night had been piling upon him. Unexpectedly to Blue, he felt an arm wrap around him that pat his back. Sure thing. Just look after yourself today. We can grab some painkillers on our way to the Battle Dome. Yeah, okay. Blue looked up slightly, but couldn't look Red in the eyes. He knew he was blushing. Red just smiled and let out a small laugh. Come on then. Let's get you something for that headache. And with that, Red set off slightly ahead of Blue, Pikachu catching up to him and climbing up onto his shoulder. We need to keep an eye on him today, okay, buddy? Red said to Pikachu, inaudible to Blue, who was still a little behind him. Pika! Pikachu squealed in excitement. My voice cannot do the voice, and I'm dying. Red smiled at Pikachu, then glanced behind him at Blue, who was still a flustered mess, catching his gaze and smiling at him again. They left the volcano site and headed back down Route 7. It wasn't a very long walk back to Royal Avenue, where the Battle Dome was. They had passed through earlier on their way to Willow Volcano, and Red had noticed the thrifty Mega Mart, so had decided to restock there. When they arrived, an assistant handed them a coupon for the store. Red thanked them, and the two started to browse the goods. Blue was looking at some small souvenirs, while Red headed to the back of the store to the cold drinks. He picked up more bottles of fresh water, then started to look for the medicine section. When he found it, he saw Blue already there, reading back a box of painkillers. I hadn't even noticed that you had moved, Red laughed. Yeah, I thought I'd come and pick up some while you grabbed some more water. These ones should do the trick. After they paid and were outside, Blue took 2 of the little capsules and washed them down with some water. And now I wait to see if they work. Red smiled at him. Hopefully they do. Now let's head to the Battle Dome, Red exclaimed, pointing in the direction of the venue. Pika! Pikachu also burst out. Red laughed and pet his yellow companion. And that was the other chapter. I'm gonna have to make this short because it's getting late and also stuff. So I'm kind of sorry, but I'm glad I was able to get back onto this. This was pretty good. I just hope things don't become more awkward later on in the fanfic reading. And if it does, I'm probably gonna have to stop because I'm gonna feel a little awkward. And if things are a little tiny awkward, or like the characters thinking like, oh God, this guy's so hot. I like to read this stuff at my own time because it's my own time. People won't know. So. Bye.